Would you believe I can make a DIY welder using just a single key? Let me show you how. Next, I prepare a set of bolts and nuts. They may look simple, but they're incredibly useful. I use them to connect the handle of the welding tool to the welding tip, creating a joint that's both strong and easy to adjust. Thanks to this bolt and nut setup, everything stays firmly in place during use, yet can still be taken apart or fine-tuned when needed. After securely fastening the bolt and nut assembly to the key, I move on to using an electrical terminal block as an intermediate connector. This terminal block allows me to firmly connect a homemade welding tip to the threaded bolt, keeping everything stable during operation. As a result, the welding tip doesn't loosen or shift while working, while still maintaining good electrical contact for efficient and reliable performance. It's a simple solution, easy to source, and works perfectly for DIY welding projects like this. Would you believe that the carbon rod inside a small AA battery can be repurposed to make a DIY welding tip? At first glance, it sounds strange, maybe even risky, but when you take a moment to think about it, the idea actually makes a lot of sense. To begin with, carbon is a material that handles heat extremely well. At high temperatures, it doesn't melt or deform easily like many common metals. That's why carbon has long been used in applications involving heat and electricity. It's nothing new or experimental in the world of engineering. Second, carbon provides stable and predictable electrical conductivity. It's not the strongest conductor out there, but it's consistent, which makes it easier to control. This stability is especially important when heat needs to be generated gradually and evenly, rather than spiking uncontrollably. Another reason the carbon rod inside an AA battery is so interesting is its shape and structure. It's straight, rigid, and relatively easy to secure or connect to other components in a homemade setup. There's no complex machining involved, just an understanding of the material itself and how it behaves. And finally, this is where the real DIY spirit comes in, using what's already available. A dead battery, something most people would throw away without a second thought, can suddenly become a useful technical component, not as a replacement for professional tools, but as a way to better understand materials, electricity, and heat. And that understanding is what DIY projects like this are really all about. The handle of this tool is a simple wooden grip, comfortable to hold and well insulated, making it stable and easy to use. I've already drilled a properly sized hole into the wooden handle. Now, I'm going to secure the key into the handle. What I'm using here is hot glue, one of the most familiar and practical materials in DIY projects. Once heated, it melts and bonds very quickly to surfaces like wood, plastic, and light metal, making it ideal for quick fastening and simple assembly. I'm using a single electrical wire with a multi-strand braided core. This type of wire is well suited for connecting the power source to a DIY welding tool, as it offers stable conductivity while remaining flexible. Thanks to the braided strands, the wire bends easily without becoming stiff or brittle, making installation and handling much smoother and more reliable. This is an alligator clip, which is very convenient for quickly connecting to a power source. Just clip it on and you're ready to go, secure and hassle-free. And of course, I'm going to make one more tool to connect to the negative terminal of the power source. It's quite simple. I take a length of electrical wire and attach alligator clips to both ends. This gives me a flexible connection that's easy to clip on and remove, which works perfectly for a DIY welding setup. For this DIY welding tool, a small capacity battery is all you need. There's no need for a high power source, as long as it's stable and suitable for basic DIY testing. It works just fine. When the two terminals touch and an electric arc appears, that's when we know it works. Next, I'll run a few simple tests so you can clearly judge how effective this DIY welding tool really is. So make sure to watch until the end. And with that, this small project comes to an end. Using just a few familiar materials, some which might normally be thrown away, we've managed to build a simple DIY welding tool that actually works. What matters most isn't how powerful it is, but understanding the principles behind it, knowing why each part was chosen, and being willing to experiment with ideas that might seem impossible at first. DIY isn't just about making something. It's about learning, observing, and gaining experience from the process itself. If you found this project interesting, feel free to share your thoughts, and maybe it'll inspire a few new DIY ideas of your own. Thanks for watching all the way to the end. I'll see you in the next project.